meteorologist Wes Wyatt this evening on this Wednesday, and I think we should all just give ourselves a pat on the back that we got through a Wednesday with no storms. We're going to start off with some sunshine, but obviously it's turned a little cloudier. But thanks for joining us on our 30-minute all-digital streaming all-weather program, because everyone knows you just want 30 minutes of weather. Who cares about the other news, right? So this evening, we have still got very quiet weather in place. Before you see the clouds moving in, you're thinking, what does that mean? Does it mean some rain's coming in? Well, our rain chances are still very low. Spoiler alert for that. But what I do want to show you is a cool optical phenomenon that we saw today. You know, like, optical phenomenon, what's that all about? Well, this actually occurs in the sky, and you look at this, you're like, is that a picture of a rainbow? Well, it's actually a picture of what is called a circumhorizontal arc. Say that 5 times fast. So what we're seeing here is you've got this optical phenomenon where basically what's happening is you've got these type of clouds. And notice these type of clouds that are in the atmosphere. They're called cirrus clouds or cirrus stratus clouds. They're typically going to be higher up in the atmosphere. We call them high-level clouds. And because they're higher up in the atmosphere, go higher up, the atmosphere gets colder. It's going to be composed of ice crystals. So what's happening is you're getting sunlight that is reflecting or refracting off of these ice crystals and producing this prism, this optical phenomenon that you see here. And this is sent in from viewer Judy Freeman from Princeton Baptist Medical Center. And then we also have one from viewer Michelle of a great view of the circumhorizontal arc. So if you're wondering, if you're sitting at home taking notes, like, how do I even begin to spell this? Well, here we go. Obviously, this won't be coming up on your daily Wordle anytime soon, way too long. But really cool to see, and oftentimes you will get these on days when, yeah, there's some sunshine around, but you get kind of what we call filter sunshine, when you've got those high-level clouds moving in. And that's an indication that you have some moisture moving in higher up in the atmosphere. So the question is that moisture going to make it down to the ground and rain for us? Well, very unlikely. Rain chances looking low tonight. If we look right now, though, you'll certainly see those clouds moving in that helped us see those cool optical phenomenons earlier today. So looking over the Magic City from our tower cam here at WBRC, we definitely have some clouds around, and there's going to be still some filtered sunshine to start tomorrow morning with some clouds around, but eventually we'll see more abundant sunshine. But check out those temperatures back on the other side of 70 degrees today, and that is a sign of things to come. Our next big thing, a warming trend in the forecast. But temperatures right now for most of us right around that 70-degree mark. We're at 70 in Pell City, 70 in Oneonta and Birmingham. 70 seems to be the popular number this evening. 68 in Coleman, 70 in Vernon, and 70 in Centerville. So just compared to this time yesterday, temperatures have already risen a good 5 to 10 degrees. So there's the proof in the pudding right there. That warming trend on the way is going to make for some gorgeous spring weather. But I don't want you to worry about those clouds coming in. I promise we're not going to see a lot of rain in the forecast, but bear that in mind. If you've already put some plants in the ground, you probably need to water them over the next couple of days. But we can track that moisture that's moving into the atmosphere. We keep talking about those high clouds that are coming in. So looking at our water vapor satellite on our First Alert AccuTrack, this is actually looking in the middle levels of the atmosphere and is showing where you see that green and kind of gray color popping up here, that white color. That is indicating more moisture is coming in from our west and pushing to the east. And this is all part of a passing disturbance that is going to bring that 10% chance or less of a stray shower across northwest Alabama. I really don't think most of us are going to see much of anything. And here's why. If we look at the air here at the surface, dew points tells us how much moisture is in the atmosphere. So when we see dew points in the 30s, 40s for a lot of us, kind of middle of the spectrum. So we've got some dry air in place. And if you think about a cloud and the rain falling out of the cloud, if it falls into drier air, it could evaporate before it hits the surface. So it's certainly not a guarantee. We don't have a lot of moisture here at the surface to support rain, and those dew points telling us, if it were a little bit more humid here at the surface, maybe it'd be more of a possibility. We're not going to totally rule it out, but notice too, we've got winds coming in out of the southeast. So we've seen a shift in the wind direction. When you've got winds coming in out of the south, that's going to help to make the air a little milder and eventually maybe a little bit more humid if you really get that deep southerly flow coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. But obviously dry right now, but with that southeasterly flow, that is helping to make it a little breezy today. We've seen winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but also helping to kickstart that warming trend. So just how warm could it get? Well, today Okay, we managed to hit 70 degrees. That's still a little bit below average for this time of the year, but notice in the days ahead, we get more abundant sunshine tomorrow. By the time we get towards the weekend, it's not out of the question that we could be flirting with the mid 80s. So we've got what is called a ridge of high pressure that's going to be building in over the southeast. And if you think about it, a ridge, think about the shape. You know, when we talk about cold fronts coming through, you see a dip in the jet stream. Well, when you have a ridge, the jet stream is elevated, so to speak. So if we look at this with the temperature map, you can see that southeasterly flow coming in from the Gulf and off of the Atlantic. And what that's going to do is help to bump our temperatures above average each day. So when you have that ridge of high pressure too, it often also prevents any weather systems from coming through. So a lot of times, especially if you see in the ridge in the summer, that can certainly support the potential for what could be a heat wave. This is not a heat wave by any means for us, but certainly the potential for 80s going into the weekend, if not mid 80s in the forecast. So definitely a warm weekend ahead, and we know we've certainly got a lot of weekend events coming up. So let's talk about what's coming up in First Alert Weather Extra. We got a lot on the plate today. I know we've had some rain around here, but we do have a drought update for the western U.S. How could that impact us here in Alabama? And is something on the move up in Alaska? We'll talk more about that. And looking beyond the 7-day, tracking a cold front next week, and of course the beach forecast. Who cares about anything else? We'll be right back.
The Next Big Thing gives you a heads up days ahead of the next big storm system. The Next 24 gives you the most accurate and updated look at tomorrow. And the Next 60 gives you a 60-minute advantage against Mother Nature. Knowing what's next, days, hours, or minutes away, this is why we First Alert.
When we declare First Alert Weather Day, it's all hands on deck. We're on your side and in your hand with the First Alert Weather app. While Wes and the rest of the team track changes moment to moment, the app keeps you prepared and safe with video and alerts for your neighborhood. And if the power goes out, no worries, you can stream us anywhere. It's easy and it's always on. Stay ahead of Alabama weather. Just scan and tap and have the First Alert Weather app. This is why we First Alert.
On Good Day Alabama, we treat severe weather with the highest priority. It's more than just meteorologists. Everyone plays a part. Having more reporters in more places takes you beyond the First Alert, showing you the impact that we see on radar. We're live in your neighborhood when you need us. On air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
Our lives revolve around planning for what's next, like the next ball game.
One hot dog with ketchup? It's the same with weather. That's why we're on your side with the Next Big Thing, the Next 60, and the Next 24. Knowing what's next, days, hours, or minutes away.
This is why we First Alert. Who puts ketchup on a hot dog?
Getting live breaking news and local updates has never been easier. That's because we're on your side with the WBRC streaming app. Need updates between newscasts? You can catch up quick here. And when we're live on TV, we're live here too. Just search WBRC on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. WBRC Fox 6 News is on your side.
Welcome back to your First Alert Weather Extra. You know, we've certainly been having a really stormy pattern around here lately. I know we can all breathe a sigh of relief, though the weather's finally chilling out. Fortunately, not literally, but meteorologist Matt Daniel helps us to take a look at the drought out west and how that could be impacting us in the long term here in the southeast.
All right, let's talk about the drought situation across the country and how, even though we're doing all right, how it could possibly impact us down the road as we go into the summer and fall months. Of course, the eastern half of the country, drought, not a big deal. Maybe some dry conditions or moderately dry conditions in parts of the coastal regions of the Carolinas and South Georgia. Alabama's looking pretty good across our region. Obviously, we've had a lot of rainfall over the past several months to help us out, but that's not been the case out towards the west. When you start seeing the orange, red colors, that's really indicating extreme to even exceptional drought. It's pretty bad in Texas. They've already had some red flag warnings and increasing fire danger, extreme dryness as you go up towards the plains, and of course even towards California, extreme to exceptional drought in some instances. Why does that matter? Well, here's one thing that really matters is their water. They need that rain, of course, for many reasons, and one thing that they rely on is the snowpack across the region. A lot of the mountains get snow, and as we go into the warmer months, the snowpack begins to melt and enters that stream flow, and it can enter those reservoirs and go into the groundwater and lake areas, and that helps out the agriculture, household, and ecology, and hydropower. So, of course, they use that snow melt to really depend on that going into the summer months. But lately, it's been so dry and they haven't had as much snow, it's just intensifying the drought even more across that region. So you can see where they have the snow currently in the elevated areas in the mountains across the west. Just to give you an idea, this past month, 25 to 50% of the normal precipitation they see out there towards the Sierra Nevada, Northwest California, into Oregon and the Great Basin. So they haven't had that much. This is the second year for snow drought in the west, and for California, it's the third straight snow drought year in California. So with the dry conditions expected to continue this summer, they could see more wildfires. That's going to impact homes and families and businesses there. And that smoke can travel from west to east across the entire country. Sometimes we'll even get some hazy conditions here just because of the overall flow from the country and from the wildfires out west. So that can impact us here locally. And the other thing that can impact us along with those wildfires is also the prices of some goods that are transported from the west to the east, including nuts and fruits. So that could also cause a little bit more money out of your pocket if you want to buy some fruits or stuff that are imported from the west. So that's why we're watching the drought situation across the country. Thankfully, we are good. Hopefully it stays that way. Of course, our main way of getting water in the summer months, those pop-up thunderstorms that we typically see around here.
Thanks for that, Matt. And certainly if you think about the jet stream, think about where storms are typically coming from west to east. And if you think about a plane, when you fly out west, it's typically going to take a little longer to get out there than when you fly a plane from the west coast to the east coast because you're going with that jet stream. So it's all got to go downstream at some point. But let's think outside of the lower 48 this evening. You know, we had to find a way, Jill and I running the show this evening, to work in an animal story. So you may have heard me say we're moving on to something else. No, we're not talking about cows, but we're talking about scientists tracking another animal in Alaska. Let's take a look.
It started as a pilot project in 2017 when biologists set out to count wintertime moose in the Anchorage Bowl. For the next 4 years, over a 3-day period in late winter, residents were asked to text, call, or go online to report moose sightings. That would send a biologist running with a dart gun used to collect a tiny tissue sample.
You can see the tissue sample right there, and it's not a lot, and that's all we need to get the genetics that we need to identify this individual moose.
Adding up those years of data has given scientists a good idea how many moose consider Anchorage their winter home.
The estimate we got was around 300 moose with a range around 275 to 350, which is a lot of moose in a small area.
That's at least 4 moose per square mile. The study found twice as many females as males, and in Anchorage, a significant number were hit by cars.
About 10% each year of what the moose we sample turn up in roadkills.
If there's anything that surprised scientists, it was how little moose moved. It wasn't uncommon to find the same moose in the same yard year after year. But they didn't count it twice. Biologists say they still have questions about Anchorage moose.
There are missing pieces, but it gives us some good information to manage moose populations off of.
But this is definitely an important start.
Now, one of the big questions that remains unanswered is how many moose does Anchorage have in the summertime? Do they stick around or do they go to less populated areas once the snow melts? Scientists say studying moose movements in deep snow will be the next phase of their study. For Alaska's News Source, I'm Lauren Maxwell.
I see we are all taking advantage of the moose puns this evening. That's so cool. And if you guys ever see any other cool nature stories around Central Alabama or around the U.S., let us know and we'll try to share them on First Alert Weather Extra. But coming up, we'll talk about our local weather here at home. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt has a look at that super 7-day forecast, and then Jill takes us, as always, beyond the 7 days. We'll be right back.
Every morning on Good Day Alabama, we know the news that matters the most to you is the news that hits closest to home.
And we know that to tell the best story means going to where the story is. That's why having more reporters in more places is so essential.
Giving you more local stories that impact your family, your school, and your safety.
On air, online, and on the app.
That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
I hear from people all the time with questions about healthcare, their insurance, and the safety of certain treatments. I'm Morgan Hightower, and I investigate these stories because if I were being taken advantage of, or if my family couldn't get the help they needed, I would want to know how to take action. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, getting answers, keeping you informed and safe. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Get pinpoint locations down to your street level on the First Alert Weather app. You can download by searching WBRC in your app store. That's accuracy you can plan on.
I hear from people all the time having problems with their landlord or worried about being ripped off by a bad business. I'm Josh Gann, and I investigate stories like these because if I had questions about protecting my finances or how to save more money, I would want the best advice available. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side getting answers, keeping you informed and safe. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Get First Alert weather and breaking news. Follow us on Twitter. Search at WBRC News.
Get First Alert weather and breaking news. Follow us on Facebook. Search at WBRC News.
Hey there, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Beautiful video was sent in from Mike Fallon out at the Little Shoal area. That's out on the Warrior River, but you can see their beautiful bald eagle enjoying the nice sunny weather yesterday. The weather today, we had lots of sunshine. I know we talked about some clouds moving in, but we still got a lot of sunshine in the mix and a nice warm up tonight. Some pleasant weather for more Barons baseball. If you're heading out, you can see the temperatures in the 60s. We've got that small chance of a sprinkle, but most areas we're still expecting mainly dry conditions here as we go into the next 24 hours. Mild conditions through tonight, and notice how the model data is generating a couple of sprinkles, and just not going to see much out of this with the air being so dry. Maybe during the early morning there could be a passing shower around the area, but that moves on through fairly quickly. Overnight temperatures will stay rather mild in the 60s. Notice tomorrow we'll get closer to 80 degrees during the afternoon. Lots of sunshine and more sunny weather expected going into Friday, Saturday. Those 80-degree temperatures, that warm up still expected here later on this week as temperatures rise well above average. Overall, the pattern certainly has trended much drier. Again, the latest updates on the temperatures, and you can see still expecting some mid to upper 80s possible there for our Saturday and Sunday. And that warm weather also continues into Monday of next week. And speaking of Monday, that's going to be the next chance for showers and storms. We're going to be tracking a front that moves in on Monday. However, you can see at this point the model data, especially the global deterministic data, is really backed off on the intensity of this. It looks like it's going to be kind of in a weakening stage as it moves in. So rainfall, not too impressive with this one, and not expecting any severe weather. In fact, we may not even hear a rumble of thunder, maybe mostly showers. Look at that as it moves through. This is from the global forecast system, so just one of those long-range models, and doesn't look too impressive there as it moves in. And after that, looks like another stretch of dry weather right on through the middle to end of next week. So by the middle of next week, may need to put some water on that freshly planted garden if you've been doing a little gardening. It looks like tree pollen level still in the high category. The grass pollen's back in a low range right now, but that may pick up again later this week. We've got Talladega coming up this weekend. Riley Green concert Saturday. Still expecting some nice weather at Talladega. Very mild Saturday night expected. Those evening temperatures in the 60s. And by the way, for the big race on Sunday, You'll want the, in addition to the shades, the sunscreen. Plan on a warm day. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 80s. You can see winds there out of the south, kind of breezy, but just a perfect setup for Talladega racing. You can watch that race, of course, on WBRC, 2 o'clock there on Sunday. First Alert 7-day forecast, again, mainly dry through the weekend. That 10% chance for Sunday, that's late Sunday. Good news for the race there if you have plans on Sunday. The concern for showers is going to be Monday night and into Tuesday, late Monday. Notice temperatures go from 80s to 70s, so there will be a noticeable drop in temperatures, basically back closer to where we should be for this time of the year. The average high, you can see there around 76. Looks like the overnight temperature is also back in the 40s, so don't put away the long sleeves just yet. There will be some cooler weather on the way, and we may be talking about some chilly conditions going on into May there. We'll check in right now with meteorologist Jill Gilardi for an update as we go beyond this 7-day forecast. Jill?
Thanks, Wes. Yeah, let's take a look at that pattern as we start you off around the 28th of this month. And as we take a look, it will stop at some points here. But that ridge, I know that Lauren was kind of explaining more about the ridge, and you can clearly see when that jet stream makes its way up and over us, we're going to be really warming up. So I see us heating up going into the later part of the month. And then as we get into early May, it could be very toasty. I've been seeing some data in the upper 80s for highs, so we'll be watching that. But we can still get some cool downs. I am seeing a potential trough. We'll watch that as we get into the 5th time frame, but for now it looks pretty toasty going through the early part of May. So we'll be watching that closely. Again, a lot can change between now and then. That's why we update you every day beyond the 7-day. What has also been showing up is limited chances for rain. So this could be concerning in terms of, a drought eventually maybe developing if this pattern were to continue and it gets hotter and evaporation and transpiration occurs. So we're going to be talking and focusing on that. And certainly we're planting our new garden. You're going to have to do the watering yourself. And again, the Climate Prediction Center also agrees that we'll be trending a little bit below average in the temperature department. Coming up after the break, we'll have more First Alert Weather Extra.
Getting live breaking news and local updates has never been easier. That's because we're on your side with the WBRC streaming app. Need updates between newscasts? You can catch up quick here. And when we're live on TV, we're live here too, giving you more ways to get caught up with everything happening where you live. Plus, exclusive videos from your First Alert weather team. It's easy to use and it's free. Just search WBRC on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. WBRC Fox 6 News is on your side.
You've got enough to worry about every day. That's why the First Alert weather team is on your side, so you can plan with confidence and take the worry out of weather. With exclusive First Alert AccuTrack, we pinpoint storms before they arrive. And with Weather Every 6, you are always informed. Alabama's weather changes fast, but we're working even faster, updating and alerting you first. We know your plans are important. This is why we First Alert.
Every morning on Good Day Alabama, we're on your side, trying to get you where you're going safely. First Alert Traffic updates you on slowdowns and gives you alternate routes. Having more reporters covering the roads you drive on gives you even more info to help you know more about why it happened and when it will be cleared. On air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
I get calls and emails all the time from people wanting to know how cities, counties, and the state are spending their tax dollars. I'm Jennifer Horton, and I investigate how your tax dollars are being used because I don't want your money or mine wasted or fraudulently spent by politicians in power. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, following the paper trail, asking the tough questions, and giving you the facts. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I know if you're like me, itching for a beach getaway sometime soon, especially with it getting warmer later this week. Mickey Ferguson has a look at that beach forecast.
Hey, let's take a look at the beaches. As of this morning late, we were seeing, well, beautiful sandy beaches, but look how windy it is. Winds coming at you at about 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 30 miles per hour. So it's a little bit cloudy to get you started there for us tomorrow. 74 degrees, and then we see sunshine on Friday, but it's going to be windy both those days. As we head on down the beach for Orange Beach, going into Pensacola, same basic forecast, mostly cloudy skies on Thursday and then clearing up on Friday. The further you go to the east, the clouds don't quite make it there in time. So Panama City, it's one of our warmer beaches there on the Gulf at 81 degrees by Friday. Moving right along here, let's take a look at your rip current. Got to tell you, all throughout the beaches I just showed you, we've got a high rip current, and it's probably going to take you all the way into the weekend. So if you could, just stay out of the water and monitor those flags. Red flags means don't go in. Double red flags means it's illegal to go in. All right, here's your 7-day beach forecast. You can see increasing clouds for tomorrow, and then we have sunshine for several days. Only a slight chance of showers return Monday into Tuesday of next week. Be sure and send a postcard.
And be sure to send us some photos too. I don't know about y'all, but Emmy Grace is a whole mood. That's what I'm going to be like later this week. I may not be going down to the beach, but that's exactly what we should all be looking like as we're soaking up the sunshine in central Alabama. So as we take one final look at that forecast, we are tracking a couple of showers in North Mississippi on our First Alert AccuTrack. Now these are well to our north and west. So the question is, okay, as these push to the south and east, could they even manage to make it to our area, or will it fade away by then? Well, that's why we've got a 10% chance or less of a stray shower tonight. The best chance would be in our northwestern counties up towards Fayette, Marion County, Lamar County potentially, but I really think most of us are not going to be seeing any issues with rain, but not out of the question to see a stray shower this evening. So once this passing disturbance moves through overnight, we're going to be seeing less clouds around once we get past tomorrow morning, and so that's when we're going to kickstart that warming trend for tomorrow. So look at that, 80s in the forecast. And we're talking maybe mid-80s by the weekend, a perfect excuse to get outside, spend some time in your garden, go on a hike, what have you. I know we got a lot going on this weekend. And of course, we still have maybe a chance of showers early next week, but I think we can deal with that. Not seeing anything in the way of severe weather just yet. So we hope you have a safe and happy rest of your week. And don't forget to tune in back on WBRC Fox 6 News tonight at 9. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt will be back in with that 7-day forecast. Have a good evening.